Hey guys, it's Drake and I'm back again with another one of these little unscripted videos. This is something that I wanted to talk about since I found it very fascinating in that we might have actually seen a symbiote in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before the Venom movie even comes out. And I know that the Venom movie might not actually be in the MCU, but I still think this is very, very fascinating. So there is a good chance that there is actually a symbiote in Thor Ragnarok. But for a little bit of background on that, let me take you to a recent book in the Venom series. It is worth noting that this book did come out after the release of Thor Ragnarok, so take this with a grain of salt. Anyway, in this recent book, we got to see the first symbiote that ever existed, and it is actually something that I love a whole lot that actually made an appearance in my all-time favorite Thor story, Thor God of Thunder. The first ever symbiote is All Black the Necrosword, also known as the Annihilablade, because we had the god of symbiotes come back to Earth to take on Venom, and we got to see the origin story. All Black is the weapon of Gore, the God Butcher from the Thor God of Thunder series. It was just a really cool thing, and in retrospect, yeah, that was a symbiote. We've actually seen in alternate futures different characters wielding All Black the Necrosword, and yeah, that's a symbiote. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together until it was explicitly spelled out in canon. One thing I really like about this is that this addition to the Venom mythos really helps show that Venom isn't much of a Spider-Man character anymore. He's definitely taken off as his own entity, and I really think that adding this bit of lore really does help cement himself as his own separate thing. And honestly, anything involving Thor God of Thunder just gets a pass in my book. So I was watching an interview with Taika Waititi, and he specifically said that Hela's weapon was based on Gore's All Black the Necrosword, which is neat in and of itself.
When we took other things from God of Thunder, where you have Gore, the God Butcher, the weapons that Hela uses are all taken from that series.
And that doesn't mean that she is instantly using that, but if you take a look at the design of the swords that she throws, it's pretty much identical to the one that we see Gore use. I think that you could maybe spin this as kind of like a retcon, like how we saw Peter Parker being that little kid in Iron Man 2. That was by no means the original intention, but it's a neat little retcon there. Again, I know that this Venom story came out after Thor Ragnarok, so it definitely wasn't going to be meant to tie into the symbiotes in any way, shape, or form, but now that you have this precedent in the comics, I really think that you could make that work, or something similar. If Venom ends up not being in the MCU, but they still want to do a symbiote story, then they could actually have Tom Holland's Peter Parker interact with them in some way, shape, or form, and you can tie it into the cosmic mythos that's being established right now with Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy and all of that. It's a pretty small observation, but it's a neat little bit of modern comic book stuff that I wanted to talk about, because honestly, anytime I get to talk about Thor God of Thunder is just a happy day in my book. But let me know if you guys actually want to see a history video about All Black itself. I reread the entire Thor God of Thunder series in order to get ready for this little bit, and I wonder how many more times I can say Thor God of Thunder by the end of this video. I reread the entire thing, and it was an absolute delight, so I would honestly love to make that history video if that was something that you guys wanted to see in the first place. So, like I said, a little bit of a more unscripted rambly rant video for you. I'm so happy right now. But if you like this video, then why not consider subscribing or even watching another one? In fact, Venom was a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy for a little bit, and I talk about that more in this video I did on every single member of the Guardians. It's a fun video that I spent way too long researching, so maybe give that a look if you are interested in that. Anyway, I hope you learned at least a little something new, and hopefully I'll see you next time.